Everybody Has One podcast. We are back.
Yes, yes.
Another week. So much going on in the world of sports. So little time to discuss it all. I'm your host, Jason Flake. My co-host, Lance Reynolds, a.k.a. the People's Champ.
What up, though?
We like to start the show the same way each week, man, and that is thanking the Everybody Has One family for a great week of engagement. We got thousands of views on the YouTube channel as usual. A lot of participation with the live last week. We want to thank everybody that tapped in with us in the chat. We hoping for another great week of participation this week. Also, make sure y'all continue to like, share, and subscribe. That is Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. Everybody Has One spelled out sports podcast everywhere else. That's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's Twitch, that's Threads, and that's TikTok. The audio version of the podcast is also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, man. So make sure y'all tapping in with us there to get the playback. None of this is possible without the Everybody Has One family, man. We appreciate y'all so very, very much. When y'all subscribe on YouTube, by the way, and you hit the bell notification, make sure you hit all. Because when you hit all, you will be notified every single time that we post new content, new videos, new shorts, and obviously every time that we go live, which is every Wednesday at 8:30. I'm tripping. At 8:30 p.m., sometimes 9:30, but at 8:30 p.m. or as close as we can get to it, man. So thank y'all for tapping in with us, man. We appreciate y'all. None of this is possible without the Everybody Has One family. We appreciate y'all so very, very much, man. It was a great week of engagement all across the social sites, man. A lot of talk about, obviously this is a Detroit-based podcast, so a lot of Pistons talk, man, and we are definitely going to get to that. But I wanted to start on a little bit different note. We usually start with something Detroit-based, but I wanted to talk about this Shannon Sharpe and Shakur Stevenson exchange. The NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe and undefeated 140-pound boxing champion Shakur Stevenson engaged in a viral, heated exchange on Shannon's podcast Nightcap. Sharpe criticized Stevens' in-ring style as, quote, boring, unquote, and argued he needs more knockouts to get mainstream credit. Stevenson fired back, describing Shannon Sharpe as, quote, ignorant, unquote. When it came to the subject of boxing, the debate quickly turned personal when Sharpe claimed that fans don't want to pay to watch Stevenson's safety-first technical fighting style. Stevenson quickly dismissed that opinion, arguing that someone who has never boxed is essentially unqualified to judge. But you be the judge. Was Shakur correct to defend his boxing style, or is Shannon entitled to his preference of action fighting over tactical exchanges? What say the People's Champ?
Yeah, I mean, Shannon can have his preference as to, the type of fights that he likes to see.
Sure.
But you kind of just have to leave it at that.
Okay.
Right. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you can't tell the actual fighter that, in order to do X, Y, and Z, you have to do this, where the maybe 1 or 2 pound for pound best fighter in the world is that doing, what has been working for him.
Right.
So, I mean, it's kind of like one of those things where sometimes a narrative can kind of get out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with Shakur, especially with him being, like in the social media era.
Sure. Yep.
A lot of times narratives can just kind of take on a
life of their own,
and a different, trajectory than anyone ever sought out.
Mm-hmm.
From the beginning of it. And I think that may play a part of it as well, because, I mean, no one was beating Pernell Whitaker over the head for his style. That was his style. You
Sure.
you respected it.
Yeah,
You appreciated it. You get what I'm saying? And even to some degree with Floyd.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Floyd wasn't necessarily per se a knockout artist.
Yeah, not Floyd Money Mayweather.
Right.
Pretty Boy
Floyd for certain. Yes.
Yeah, but once he hurt
absolutely.
his hands,
correct.
He was more of a tactician.
Yeah, pre-hand injury, correct.
Yep.
But in Shakur's defense, I mean, this is an Olympic silver medalist.
Sure, yeah. I mean, no, he's obviously a great fighter. There's no argument about that.
I mean, it's because what I struggle with is and the reason why I kind of harken back to the narrative aspect is when you look at his last two fights, when I'm talking about Shakur, I mean, I don't know how much more action.
Yeah, I mean, right.
You kind of want, especially when you're talking the Tiafimo fight.
Yeah, Tiafimo, that was a great action fight. I thought there was a lot of great exchanges. Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought it was entertaining because, I mean, they went at it for about a solid hour.
Yeah, no, listen, I tend to agree. I mean, listen, I think that there is a such thing as an opinion rooted in ignorance. I mean, unfortunately, our society is rife with those.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, but, I also think that Shannon is entitled to his opinion. I also think that it's possible to be well-versed in the subject and also develop a preference.
100%.
So I think that he can, it doesn't necessarily mean he's ignorant about the subject of boxing simply because he has a preference.
Right, for sure. But I think with Shannon, being as intelligent and able to articulate his thoughts as he's proven to be over the years, he couldn't articulate to Shakur to where a boxer could be like, okay, I could see that as a fan why you would have that opinion, and I respect your opinion.
Right.
Like, to tell a boxer that you have to put yourself more in harm's way in a fight is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I disagree with Shannon Sharpe.
And I think that's kind of where the angst kind of came from, where it's like, Shannon, like you said, you can have your opinion, absolutely, but
I think
you especially just be able to engage back and forth with, as opposed to I don't like it or it don't look cool.
Yeah, and I mean, right. I think that where everything went off the rails is where you get into the personal criticism of him being boring. I'm like, listen, you can say, hey, man, I think that technically the entire point of boxing is to hit and not get hit.
Period.
Shakur Stevenson is one of the best boxers at that, if not the best in the world at doing that. He's got, I believe he has the lowest connect percentage in boxing, and he's got one of the highest connect percentages. So, I mean, when it comes to hitting and not getting hit, he's one of the best in the world at that. So while I disagree with Shannon that he's boring, I think I again, just trying to play devil's advocate, because I think that, I was disappointed in both that it devolved, I should say, into personal attacks. Yeah, I mean, come on, fellas, man. Like, we got to be bigger than that.
It took Ocho Cinco, of all people, to rope everyone in. Now, that was wild to see.
Right, which is another conversation entirely. But, yeah, so, I think that, Shakur, for his part, I think that he has to develop a thicker skin, and understand that everybody's not going to be a fan of your style, and Shannon, like you said, I think you kind of, you touched on it. He has to communicate that better, as opposed to attacking the fighter personally and just saying, look, I prefer a style that's a little bit more action, where, consequently you're going to be at more risk. I think that you're an accurate puncher. You could get on the inside more. You could land a lot more combinations, because obviously you have the hand speed and the accuracy to do so. So I think that, like I was disappointed to see it devolve into personal attack.
Like, he didn't even throw out a softball, like, I just want to see you maybe mix it up more. Or, your last fight, I saw you opened up something when you went to the body. Why, when you see the body open up, why don't you follow that up with X? Like,
there was no tactical conversation.
The man gave you an hour of his time. You could have got so much more.
And that part, like when
the answer to your questions that you were looking for.
When somebody comes onto your platform too, and I mean, again, I'm not trying to lecture Shannon Sharpe.
Right, hell no.
I think Shannon Sharpe is like the best at
what they do in terms of
thing, that we do. I think that there's nobody better in the business than him. He's obviously had a ton of success, but I'm just saying, like, when you invite somebody on your platform, I think that you could be a bit more diplomatic in terms of the way that you address them. And again, nobody's telling you can't have your preference in wanting to see more action fighting, more mixing it up, because I get it. I mean, like, for example, I think Boots Ennis is a highly skilled fighter, but he does mix it up and take chances. He risks himself.
Right.
Now, again, I think as the competition level rises, that's going to be more of a dubious proposition. Like if he fights Fundora, for example, who is a 6 foot 454 pounder, which is again, a conversation for another day, but he can really hurt you if you taking a lot of chances trying to get inside, that could cost you. But he's willing to do that to make an entertaining fight. And again, some people are willing to take that risk, but Shakur is more of a tactical fighter. And again, I think that I don't agree his style. I like Shakur. Shakur is one of my favorite boxers. We talk about it. We've talked about it all the time. I think that he is more of a tactical fighter.
For sure.
He's trying not to get hit, and he's trying to hit, and that's the way boxing is supposed to be done. Again,
but we're different. We watch boxing for that.
Correct. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
we'll look at two guys and know what we're going to get typically in that fight. You know what I'm saying? And we'll come away from it either we got what we was looking for or trying to figure out the cause as to why we didn't.
Correct. Yep.
You know what I mean? And and to your point, I just thought that was the part about it that sucked.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, I chuckled a couple of times at some of but I mean, bro, find out why Shakur fights the way he fights. And that's boring to you. Maybe he'll explain it to you, and then maybe you can look at the next Shakur fight a different way.
Yeah, I mean, like, anytime I see brothers doing that, I wince. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hurts. I'm like, I don't like to see that.
But they cleaned it up. They cleaned it up.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure that, I'm sure that there's no ill will.
Yeah. It's to the point now these days, and when it happens, I look forward to the reconciliation.
Correct.
Like,
that it's not going to linger for too long. I mean, I'm sure that, both of them, cooler heads will prevail.
And it brought eyes on the sport because I believe Shakur was there to announce he was signing with Zuffa.
Yeah, Zuffa, yep.
With, Dana White and Turkish Ali. And Nick Khan, I believe, too.
Yes.
A lot of cheddar involved.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no. And I mean, I think they're, what I like about Turkey Al-Sheikh thus far is it looks like, he's forcing.
Gives a damn.
Yeah, and he's forcing some of these fights that take forever to get made faster while the guys are still in their prime.
Yep.
And I like that. He's putting the money on the table.
We've been screaming for that for 20 years.
Yeah, 40.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't,
all right,
because we didn't get Sugar Ray and Hagler when they were in their prime. I mean,
that's legit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been that way forever. I mean, we warring promotional factions who want to keep their fighters' record clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been that way for 4 decades. Like, we've been watching guys avoid the dangerous fight, and I like the fact that, he's coming together. He's trying to bridge some of that,
right?
Because, we want that. We want to see, potentially, again, if Tank can get his situation cleaned up. We want to see Tank and Shakur. We want to see Devin Haney and Shakur and or Tank or them fight a round robin and maybe get Ryan Garcia is gonna fight He just announced he's fighting somebody. Conor Benn. He fighting Conor Benn in September. So, like you want to see all of these guys start mixing it up and fighting the best other guy in the division as opposed to waiting until everybody is beyond their prime.
And washed and needs the payday.
Correct. Correct. Yep. So, yep. That was that. What you got, nephew? You got anything, man, on that? Okay. Got it. Let's move on, man. I want to talk about this Victor Wembanyama extension. And then we'll get to the, that should feed us into the Jalen Duren update. Victor Wembanyama, let me pronounce his name correctly. He signed a 5-year, $252 million rookie scale contract extension with the San Antonio Spurs. The deal includes a player option for the 5th year. Wembanyama opted for the 25% maximum rather than the 30% maximum, leaving approximately $51 million on the table to give the Spurs financial flexibility. Many are calling it a selfless act with an eye toward the future and exemplification of a desire to win. Others say that leaving money on the table when the organization has expressed no clear plan as to how they intend to use it now or in the future is simply a poor business decision that sets a poor precedent for his colleagues league-wide. That's what they say, but what do you say? Is Wemby doing the right thing by taking less than what he's entitled to, or is he right to trust his organization to make good on having long-term financial flexibility? What say the people's champ?
Man, I mean, come on. Like, it's kind of easy to see where this is going. I mean, if the Spurs are going to continue to do what they do, the last quarter century at this point, which is play, competitive basketball with championship aspirations.
Yep.
Victor Wembanyama is going to need Stephon Castle, and he's going to need Dylan Harper.
Sure.
And with the situation with De'Aaron Fox's contract, somebody has to have some foresight.
Sure.
To keep that thing going. And, I think maybe Victor playing team national ball.
Sure.
And, having that sense of camaraderie built in early, like these are guys that you kind of grow up with when they compete on the national tip when we're talking France.
Yep.
That maybe that mentality kind of trickles into what he's trying to build with this San Antonio team.
Sure.
Where it's like, okay, these are my guys for this, I don't know, let's say 6-7 year window.
Okay.
And, I mean, Lord knows he's going to make up $50 million in endorsements if he just stays upright on the floor.
Course, yeah,
I mean,
most definitely.
That's, and you factor in all NBA teams and all defensive teams. So the money will be made. So I don't think it's like this big, huge, he's trying to be like Jalen Brunson. I just think that, the Spurs have an understanding within that organization that played a part into it. I think maybe, again, Victor's basketball background in terms of just that grow with your guys' culture, that the coming from France, and then, being able to make the money up in terms of endorsements kind of all play into this decision. How it affects, like, other players with that opportunity,
sure.
I mean, I don't think it affects them per se if the production you can always bring your production to the argument.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? If you can always bring that to the table, then, the decision should still remain with the player, whether they're going to take it or not. So I don't think that's it.
Yeah, I agree. I like the last point that you made. One of the things that I wrote down in my notes is that when players take less voluntarily, it does not impact the market. The market's not impacted because that he left $50 million on the table voluntarily. It's not as if he changed the market. The market still says he's worth $60 million a year. He decided that I'm going to take less to provide financial flexibility. That's different than being strong-armed into taking less.
Right.
That's what changes the market. So, that's a great point. I had that further down in my notes, but that was a good point. I was going to touch on that as well. And I agree that the Spurs organization has been responsible. So if you're going to do it, with an organization, you do it with an organization like the Spurs. The average player salary in the NBA is $13.6 million. So I don't know that necessarily the average $10 million a year in and of itself is going to even get you one other player, right?
Right.
But I think what it does, because and even the non-taxpayer mid-level exception is around $15 million, right?
Okay.
But what I think it does is, number one, it sets the example for everybody else that's going into the GM's office to negotiate their next deal.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen that I took less. So, and I'm not saying that necessarily everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody's circumstances are different.
Same, right.
But once you see that the leadership has set the example, because it's not necessarily like Jalen Brunson where that's a veteran team and there's a lot of veterans that already, some of them had established contracts and all of that. He's coming in. This is a lot of young guys. And also, tinfoil Kofi time. I do think this was a message about the De'Aaron Fox contract as well.
Oh.
Like, yeah, I want y'all to.
I don't think you're off base.
Yeah, that was not the right thing, I think is what he's saying. He's signaling that without saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the wrong thing to do at that time. And now you can have him as your highest paid player for the next 4 years instead of me. And that kind of looks goofy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a goofy look to the outside world without me ever having to say, this dude is our highest paid player and I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like we can just let it look that way. And that's all of the message that we need for you to know that you did the wrong thing when you signed that contract extension. So he doesn't have to raise his voice for us to look at that like, wait a minute, who's got the 30% max and who got the 25%?
Oh, man, he done turned him into John Hot Rod Williams.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like, Hot Rod make how much?
Boy, that's a throwback right there, man. You got to really be deep into the NBA trenches to get that reference right there. But, yeah, so, yeah, I agree with you. I like the message it sends, and I also like the message it sends outwardly, and I like the message that it sends to his organization all the way around. What you got, nephew?
So the question I have is, do you think this is also kind of plays a part into, I guess, the discussion around NBA contracts this year in regards to how Boston basically had to break up because Jaylen Brown's contract was just way too expensive, and how the whole conversation now is turning into, we have all these rules in place to try to help, that's supposed to help us, but they're not helping us at the end of the day. Do you think this contract is kind of starting to try to signal, move contracts more into a more friendlier deal for teams to help build contenders?
That's a great question. I think that, when you think about it, if you're going to have two Supermax players and the Supermax entitles you to 30% of the cap, that's two players eating up 60% of the payroll. And, when you start to forecast what exactly you can build around that with, what exactly you can build with just 40% of the payroll left, it does start to raise a lot of questions, particularly when the second apron is so punitive. So no, I do think, nephew, that you make a solid observation.
Might be onto something.
That's an extremely solid observation that it may be something to look at. In terms of what. Next time they come to the table with the collective bargaining agreement. And
it adds to the first point that you made about the Spurs always being responsible.
Yes.
Like if there's going to be a team that's like the first to, I guess, quote unquote, crack the code of the new structure of the cap, wouldn't it be the Spurs?
Of course.
Or some trickle down of that, of that brain trust, Sam Presti off somewhere, or you know what I mean? You would think it would come from there in terms of how to structure and team build going forward with the new financial situation.
Because even when you brought up Jalen Brunson, And, you know, he's always the example that people use when they talking about taking a pay cut. But even he was fairly explicit with what he wanted
Exactly.
to be done with the savings. You know, he wasn't like, yeah, I'm just going to take a pay cut and y'all do whatever
y'all like.
Yeah,
Go
Leon
get my
Rose.
guys.
Yeah, he like, no, you know, these are the guys that I'm looking for if I'm going to be taking a pay cut. Not just go, not just, hey, Leon Rose, and y'all just go do whatever y'all want to do. He like, this is what I'm looking for if I'm going to take a pay cut.
Right. Vic got his guys there already.
And there you go. So, yeah.
And granted, I'm not saying that, come the next CBA that the money's going to decrease. The money's always going to – the money that players are able to be paid, I feel is always going to continue to go up.
Yeah, I agree.
I think just the way that the playoffs and the finals unfolded, plus how some of the moves that have been made this offseason, I think teams are starting to be more mindful about how they pay out these big contracts.
Yes.
And I think, and again, it goes back to what we was talking about when the finals ended. I think we're going to stop seeing less talk about the actual dollar amount when it comes to the team fit and more talking about how does these max contracts in comparison to where the teams are at and what role that player feels for them. We're going to start seeing if teams still are handing out just straight 30s or straight 25s or whatnot.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And I think that you actually made a great point, nephew, when you were talking about percentage of the cap, because I think that is really, you know, when you start looking at it in those terms, that's when you really start to look, oh man, this player's eating up X amount of dollars of the cap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 30, 40 million. Like when you say that, that doesn't necessarily give you the entire insight into he eating up 20% of the cap or 25%. You know what I'm saying? Like he eating up a quarter of the cap. So
and it's different for different teams. Like, for example, the Lakers, Luka's going to get 30 and eventually 35%.
Sure.
So now it's not necessarily, Walker Kessler or Austin Reeves cost another 30% on top of that. No, they cost half of our remaining cap.
Correct.
That's when I think that's when you got the wheels, I think, start clicking for other people, and I think that's how teams are starting to look at it.
Yes. And then not how much are we under the cap, how much are we under the first and second apron too. That's because when you start. And it's interesting that you brought that up because, you know, this is I've been doing a deep dive on first and second apron and how many players you can add and still remain under those aprons. So, no, that's a great question, and it kind of leads me into my next point. There was conversation after Wemby signed his deal that him taking less demonstrated his commitment to his organization immediately. Jalen Duren detractors, and this is going to lead us into the next part of our conversation, compared the contract negotiations of Wembanyama to the contract negotiations of Jalen Duren, who seems determined to obtain his original asking price of between $40 and $45 million per year. Many believe that Wemby is taking less while Duren is asking for more, while the players are coming off of polar opposite playoff runs. So let me ask the people's champ. Do you believe that Wemby taking less has any impact on the Jalen Duren negotiations?
Unfortunately, I do, because, again, the narrative is out there.
Sure.
And, you know, as much as we would like to say and think it doesn't play a part, it plays a part into a 22-year-old when he's conversing back with his agent about his money.
Right.
You know, let's just be real about it. So, yes, but, you know, I think the situations are different.
Sure.
Because, again, it goes back to what I believe is the culture and the business model.
Right.
It's just different.
Yep.
Now, the Pistons, you know, for a nice chunk of the last 30 years, we've seen it. We know what it looks like.
Sure.
But in terms of sustained, that has never been the case.
Right.
You know, we build, we crest, and then we trough right back down. Yeah, I mean that's just kind of how that's just kind of how it happens.
I'm laughing because I know you're right.
but whereas we talked about it a little last week, where Trajan Langdon, the nucleus, the financial brain trust of the nucleus, that conversation should have been had. That understanding should have been met. Where I'm going to confidently assume that with the Spurs, that's kind of understood. Where, even coming in, and not to say, and again, this is not to say Jalen Duren is crazy for asking for what his market demands.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's a component of like reading the room.
Yeah.
That he'll learn. And I just think with this particular case it's different because I don't think the Pistons have the earned just like the earned collateral.
Yeah.
Just to lean on. Mm-hmm. To say, no, this is what we're paying you because this is what we do here. Like I don't think they have the room to be rigid. Where if the Spurs wanted to, they could.
Sure.
But they're rigid because their rigid way works.
Right.
And the results are hanging, from the rafters there.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think that this inadvertently will have some impact on these negotiations. I mean, if you want to call them that, they seem to be pretty much stalled at this point.
Negotiate.
But, but I do think that, I mean, Jalen Duren is asking for between $5 and $10 million less than Wembanyama, and rightfully so. I mean, he should not be even in the neighborhood of what Wemby is making. He should be $5 to $10 million less annually. And so I think that that's probably the fair price. I do think $35 million is too low. Like if I'm going to be honest, and we're gonna get into the math of it, once we actually get to the Jalen Duren update. But I do think that this will have an inadvertent effect. But again, the point that I made just to start my commentary is that players taking less voluntarily does not impact the market.
Right.
I think that Jalen Duren taking less involuntarily would hurt the market. And I think that that's probably the position that he's taking.
It's going to hurt our team.
Yes. And I think that his team is probably looking at it, from a very broad perspective. Yeah, because, first of all, just to deal with before I actually get to that, a couple of narratives that I don't really buy into. And again, I understand that in the back of my mind, I'm always like, yeah, I'm listening to, because if you listen to local radio around here, you're listening to the Pistons flagship station. And most of the people that are writing any in-depth articles on this are either local or they all the way in the bag for the Pistons.
Right.
But first of all, the commentary that they allowed Jalen Duren to test the market, I dismissed that out of hand. First of all, they really didn't. They would have told him on May 30th, not June 30th, if they were really going to allow him to test the market. That's number one. Number two, within 24 hours of them even telling him to seek a sign and trade, they put it out publicly that they were interested in no sign and trade. So what they telling you is what a lot of the commentators will tell you, and if you listen to local radio around here, is they'll tell you because Sacramento and the Lakers didn't waste their time putting together a trade package, because Detroit made it clear, after he took the first meeting with Sacramento, Detroit came out publicly and said, yeah, we're not interested in the sign and trade. So what they going to tell you is that because nobody wasted their time putting together a trade package because he took the first meeting with Sacramento.
Right.
If you remember,
right.
This is the timeline. He took the first meeting with Sacramento, and the Pistons organization came out and said, yeah, we're not really interested in the sign and trade.
That's right.
So what was Sacramento supposed to do? Waste their time and put together a sign and trade?
And then they said they'll match any.
Yeah, and then they said we'll match anything. So what is So because those two organizations didn't waste their time, they didn't even put together a sheet for them. What? Yeah, but because the Pistons said that they wasn't interested in doing anything. They said that they would match anything. So they essentially said, don't waste your time because we're not interested. We ain't playing ball. That's not allowing him to test the market.
No.
That's not allowing him to test the market.
No, that's just cornering him to agree to your bottom line.
Exactly. Yeah, that's just telling them, come on back, buddy. we ain't playing ball. You're a restricted free agent, and there's nothing that you can really do. And then by the time they told him on which is basically June the 30th, everybody else had already made their plans for free agency. So he did not really get a chance to test the market. Again, I'm not telling you that if he got a chance to test the market, he would have got $40 million. I have no way of knowing that. But he didn't get a real chance to test the market. But let's get to the Jalen Duren update so we can flesh this out. The Detroit Pistons and Jalen Duren remain at a standstill with respect to a long-term contract. The Pistons are reported to be holding firm in the neighborhood of around $35 million per year, while Jalen Duren is looking for an annual salary between $40 and $45 million. We've already beat that horse to death. Local headlines have speculated that Duren has no choice but to accept the Pistons' offer, while more objective outside observers view a long holdout as a distinct possibility. This week, Pistons advisor Dwayne Casey expressed strong support for the center, stating the franchise wants to retain him despite contract negotiation hurdles and recent playoff struggles. Speaking on SiriusXM, Casey stated, quote, "He's ours. We're happy to have him. I know Trajan Langdon is excited. JB Bickerstaff loves him. He's ours, and hopefully we get things worked out," unquote. Based upon those comments and the information that we have currently, which do you feel is more likely to happen? I'll ask the people's champ. The Pistons coming up into Duren's range, Duren coming down and settling for the $35 million annually. And why? Either way.
Yeah, I think they'll end up paying him north of 35.
You think a sweet spot in between?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
I think it'll be north of 35. I don't know if it'll be quite 40. If it is, I think 40 is the probably the absolute limit.
That's what I think.
I mean, they might do something like, they might really do like 39 or 38 per. They might really do that. And then they give them a 3 and then
a team,
and then after that they can sign him to another extension where he gets probably about 75 a year or something crazy.
Right,
like
yeah.
that.
Like if he performs,
Yeah,
I mean, they would have no problem doing
But again,
that.
like this is all stuff that they could have already talked about and been understood.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like this is needless.
And what concerns me is with any profession, I don't give a damn what it is. You got somebody feeling like they're not getting paid what they worth.
Right.
Productivity will suffer.
Yes.
Period. I pick the job. And you look at Duren and you look at how he kind of gets those knick-knack little injuries. He gets nicked up. I mean, he plays the physical brand of ball, and he plays down low, so he comes down on ankles a lot. He bangs knees a lot. So, he misses. But, when you're not getting paid the way you feel like you're supposed to get paid, do you feel like playing hurt that night?
Right. Yeah.
Or if you out there hurt, do you, and I'm not trying to, I'm just saying.
Right, I'm not trying to get in his head.
Yeah,
right,
any job, though, dog. If I feel like the boss is on some bull in terms of what I'm getting paid, and then let's not factor in, do you feel like we just waltzing in to 60 wins again this season?
Oh, absolutely not.
You get what I'm saying?
No, the conference is better. We talked about that already.
People really need to remember that game 7 against Cleveland and how bad that looked. That game got unwatchable very quick.
Yeah.
So
I was there.
You know what I mean? So we, it's got to be a little gravity kicking in here.
Yep.
So, I think north of 35, just south of 40 is somewhere I think they'll meet. But again, it's to the point now where, even if they do get a deal done, I'm side-eyeing it. I'm side-eyeing everybody involved now.
Yeah.
Going forward, because it's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, the longer this goes, the more I believe that the only two scenarios that exist are the qualifying offer or the Pistons caving and getting, as you said, if not to the 40, close to the 40. Because I don't think he's going for $35 million. Yeah. I think that if they hold firm at $35 million, he's gonna take the qualifying offer.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Now we know, screw what the number is that will get him to sign.
Right.
What's the number you think will get him to buy in?
40. I think 40.
You said 40. You said 40. He'll lock in.
I think he'll be happy with 40. Yeah. Okay. Because I think that's what I think that's
because I think that's a huge difference.
Because I think he'll feel that that's what the market.
Okay.
That's his market value. I've always felt that was the number.
Okay.
And I felt like he would have been happy with 40. Okay. Because and here's the reason why. If I'm just gonna give you just the sanitized version, take the emotions out of it. Just here's the case study, right? We got Walker Kessler. In his last healthy season, 2025, 11 points, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks on 66%, roughly 30 minutes a game in 58 games. No All-Star, no All-NBA, because he wouldn't have made it anyway, but he only played 58 games. This past season, it was injury shortened. Played 5 games, 14 points, 11 rebounds, couple of blocks, 31 minutes, right? So the offseason, the Lakers gave him $32.5 million. That's 19.7% of their cap, that like we were just talking about. They also gave up 2 unprotected first-round draft picks. That's another conversation. And did I mention he's never played a millisecond of playoff basketball for all of the people complaining about Jalen Duren's playoff performance, right? So the math of that is the salary cap this season or last season was $154,647,000. Mm-hmm. This year it went up to $164,961,000. That's a 6.3% increase. According to the union's collective bargaining agreement, Jalen Duren, he was eligible for the 30. He didn't come 30% of the salary cap. He didn't come in asking for that. That would have been around $50 million a year. Or that would have been north of $50 million a year. He came in asking for about 23%, right? And so the reason that the benchmarks in the CBA are in place, All-Star, particularly All-NBA, is to separate players like Walker Kessler and Jalen Duren.
Right.
In these negotiations, right? That's why I said there's only 2 scenarios that exist. He's either going to take the qualifying or they're going to come up from 35. Because if the salary cap raises again, 6.3%, there's no reason for Jalen Duren to believe that if he becomes an unrestricted free agent and has all 30 teams at his disposal, that he won't be able to get 19.7% of their cap. If the salary cap goes up 6.3% again, guess how much that is? That's the $35 million that Trajan Langdon got sitting on the table right now. That's why there's no possible way he's going to sign that. Mathematically, I can go get that even if I play an injury-shortened season because Walker Kessler just got that after playing 5 games.
5 games.
He never been an All-Star. He never been All-NBA. He ain't never averaged 20 points. He ain't never played more than 65. He's played more than 65 games one time. So there's no reason for Jalen Duren to believe that he ain't going to hit the open market next year and not be able to get at least $35 million a year.
Right.
There's no reason for him to believe that. That's why I'm like, there ain't no way in hell he's signing $35 million a year. It's just not. He gonna sign the qualifying offer.
Yeah.
He gonna be like, what could possibly happen to me next season that's not gonna make me worth at least 19.7% of somebody's cap in the open market? What exactly? I'm costing myself money if I sign that. There's almost no way he ain't costing himself money if he signs that. And I don't care. You can get in your feelings all you want. you can say that, because there's a narrative that if he signs the qualifying offer, he just hates being here. No, he don't just hate being here if he refuses to get lowballed. I like my job. I'm not taking less than market value to work there.
No.
I'm just not. They ain't got nothing to do with liking the people, liking the job, enjoying the work.
I mean, at that point, it's not a job.
I'm not taking less than market value to be there. This is about market value. This is a business. At that point. Yeah, this is a business decision. So I'm like, to me, those are the only. What you got, nephew? I'm sorry, you look like you want to cut in.
No, I was just it's crazy that you mentioned this because Marvelous 567 jumped in the chat with a total. He said in 5 years, 185 to 190 will be a good deal, which of course, but let's be real, he's not signing that. Why would I sign for 190?
Right, he's not going to do that. I mean, he's not. I understand that most people. Listen, for the average, I'd sign anything 5 years.
It all sounds great.
Yeah, if you told me I'm going to Alaska to count Eskimos for 5 years, 190 million, I'm on the first thing toward Anchorage, bro. But we talking about the market. The market unto itself says that he's lowballing himself. He's not going to do that.
Because you didn't even mention the fact that Walker Kessler got traded for 2 picks outright and then 2 swaps on top of that.
That's what I said.
I ain't even mentioned 2 swaps.
I ain't even mentioned the 2 swaps. So they gave up draft capital for him and gave him 19.7% of the cap. There's no reason for Jalen Duren to be sitting wherever he's sitting this evening to believe that if he hits the open market, all 30 teams available, that he's not getting at least $35 million a year next year. And truth be told, there's almost no reason for him to believe that he ain't getting much more than that.
Right.
He's getting more than that. He's probably going to get between
50.
Yeah, he probably going to get between 20.
If he puts together another season that he had last year and with those numbers,
Yeah, but at a minimum, he like, I can't not make 35.
Right.
I'm at least going to get the 35 that you have on the table for me right now.
Yep.
And it's not personal. And then if he signs the qualifying offer and he has a good, like, worst case scenario, again, so if he signs the qualifying offer, the best case scenario for the Pistons is that they get him back at a massive contract. Because then you just got to hope that you don't lose him outright.
Yeah.
Then you're bidding against the whole rest of the league now. Is that or give him $5 million more per year, make him happy today? Again, you gotta play the long game. We being too short-sighted with the $35 million a year. I know you're trying to hold firm because that's what you think is the right thing to do. But this could end up costing us much more. And again, like after next year, you're going to have to replace him if he leaves.
Yep.
You have to find another big man of quality, hopefully, or at least just find somebody to play there. So, I mean, again, that's just the math of the whole thing. The math of the whole thing is that I don't think he's going to sign a $35 million a year contract. I know a lot of people like he eventually going to cave in. He don't have nothing. He going to sign the qualifying offer, and he's going to wait a long time. That's the other part. The other aspect of this before we move on to our next topic.
He might wait till October.
Is that he has the luxury of time. The Pistons do not. We need to get on with our offseason. Jalen Duren, the only contract Jalen Duren got to worry about is Jalen Duren's contract. The Pistons got ideally, we'd like to see them make another move of consequence.
Right.
They really can't do that until they wrap up this move. That's why the Lakers were able to go get Walker Kessler, because they got Austin Reeves wrapped up. They got him taken care of. These teams that are able to make other moves of consequence is because they got in-house business taken care of early.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that we making moves on the fringes
Because we pump faking.
is because we haven't taken care of the in-house business yet. So I think that it is imperative. It's more, the onus is more on the Pistons to take care of this sooner rather than later than it is Jalen Duren.
Absolutely.
He got all the time in the world, no matter what he's going to do. He got forever. He could have a long holdout and just say, all right, I mean, I might sign a long-term deal in September. Training camp starts September 28th.
Yeah, dude. It's just, I don't like it, bro.
Yeah,
It's like if you're going to play hardball, you got to have, like, your plan B has got to be so solid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and they like, he don't have no trading partners. I'm like, you don't have no trading partners. You have no way out. You're trapped just like he is. The difference is he's got the luxury of time and you don't.
Oh.
You can't trade for no Trey Murphy. You can't try to go get no Kevin Durant. You can't do anything until you get this situation entirely figured out. So, again, man, this is far more complicated, unfortunately.
And not going to end anytime soon, I don't think.
But let's move on to more fun things, man, things that the People's Champ is going to enjoy discussing. We have LeBron James's decision 4.0, man. It is the highly anticipated free agency announcement regarding.
Is it?
Don't do that, man. Where the 41-year-old superstar will play the upcoming season after ending his 8-season run with the Los Angeles Lakers. Current rumors center around a final chapter move to either his hometown Cleveland Cavaliers, the Golden State Warriors, the Philadelphia 76ers, or possibly the Miami Heat. While nothing is official, betting markets and sports insiders heavily speculate the announcement is imminent and could drop around his scheduled media appearance in New York City. Byron Scott called out LeBron James and agent Rich Paul, claiming they are in, quote, panic mode, unquote, unlike James's previous free agencies, where teams aggressively courted him. Scott stated that now LeBron's camp is doing the calling and that the media has falsely inflated the level of league-wide desperation to sign him. Let me ask the People's Champ, does Byron Scott have a point, or is LeBron simply laboring over his decision because there is so much to consider?
Call Byron Scott a box of needles right now. I mean, absolutely. I mean, again, and we've talked about this now 4 weeks. Your choices are going to be the minimum or retire.
Man.
Like, no one's wrecking their team or getting rid of any significant championship pieces to barter for LeBron James at this point. And it's not because he's not a great player.
No.
He's still a very good NBA player, but he's 41 in 8 months.
Right, yeah, right.
Like,
He'll be
I mean,
42 in December.
Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, no responsible general manager would do that. Like, what you would have to exchange, because his production still warrants it, you wouldn't do it. Because, no. And again, this is, I think, what happens when you have a player that is doing and has done uncharted stuff.
Yep.
It's just like,
They don't know what to do.
yeah,
with
like
it.
this is where no one's been out yonder.
Yep.
So now that you in yonder, you got to figure it out. And his decision will be the first one of its kind.
Yep.
So, I mean, good luck. We'll be watching.
Yeah.
But,
Man, I'm 100% in the Byron Scott camp. Rich Paul let it slip that he's called every team in the league. Did you hear that?
yeah. Yeah.
And that's not
I believe that was on Nightcap too, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep. That's not something you do when everyone wants your client. Teams are calling you. And again, like you said, you perfectly put, it's not because LeBron James is not still viable. It's because his value is relative, though. LeBron on most teams, I said this to my wife earlier, it's like giving a starving man a Picasso. You know what I'm saying? Like, that man is instantly rich, but he's still hungry.
Yeah.
Like, LeBron is going to make your team must-see TV, but he's not good enough to put you over the top and make you a contender in and of himself. So,
and you had the guys there that could do it with him, but you had to get rid of them to get LeBron.
That's it. I mean, like even if he coming on the veterans minimum and you can try to, like, what's his role? Like, who are you going to supplant? Most championship, like, he wants to win a championship, but most championship teams don't need a star.
Bro, where have LeBron James gone? And again, this isn't a knock. I'm just saying, let's just follow the model. Where have LeBron James ever gone and said, all right, I'm here, let's win a title by himself?
Right. Yeah, no.
And I'm saying,
I mean,
just think about it. Like,
he's not going anywhere by himself. He's going to good teams.
That's what I'm saying. If he's going to play for championships, either your team has to be built to a way where LeBron's the last piece to the puzzle, literally, or if it's going to be a typical LeBron James move, it's going to be the first of a series of moves before the final look of the championship team is set. I mean, this is how it happens.
I think, to your point, like, he's too good to relegate to a bench role.
Right.
Like, he's a starter.
Yeah.
But what championship team needs a starter right now?
But and with this version of LeBron, because like even now, I think even with what I think Golden State was trying to get Anthony Davis, to come along with it.
To come with it.
And then there's rumblings where Cleveland was trying to figure out a way to get, God, was it Najee Marshall and Kyrie Irving?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's LeBron and always ancillary pieces with LeBron, to the point now where teams are like, bro, we're going to already have to give up something that we don't necessarily want to give up to get you, but let alone, to get your 3-and-D guys that you need. You get what I'm saying? What team's going to do that now?
Yeah.
So it's rough, man. Like I said, good luck in the yonder.
Ty said Cleveland's going to be the team in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
That's probably the best bet.
I can definitely see that. And again, like, LeBron,
they got a problem getting rid of James Harden.
Yeah. Like, again, like, LeBron and James Harden in the same lineup.
It's no way.
The perimeter defense is going to be abysmal. Like, I can't even, abysmal don't even sum it up. The perimeter defense is going to be sad.
Defense. Schmee-fence.
But I mean, like, I would like to see LeBron back in Cleveland. Like, to me, that makes sense. That's back home. I'd like to see him close it. But again,
they'll get Bronny too. They can buy out the LA contract and bring Bronny home. And it'd be a good ending.
That's cool. Listen, man.
Ending. But makes the most sense, honestly, because I swear to God, I listen. Like, we
this is why
about the Golden State
I
stuff.
said,
don't do it. I don't see him going to Philly.
Retire. All this right here. This isn't. First of all, this is embarrassing. Like, there's no part of me that believes that all of this waiting and delaying is because he's weighing his decision.
No,
this is because teams are, I'm not going to say disinterested is not the right word, but I think you touched on it, is that they're trying to negotiate this situation because it's not simple. It's not just as simple as, here, we want to sign you, come on to the team.
Yeah, it's not the Vince Carter old man deal.
It's like, well, I want this and I need that, and here's, my stipulations, and here's the games that I'm gonna want to play, and my family's still in LA.
Still giving you 24, 7, and 7.
Yeah, I mean, right. He's excellent, but he 41. Like, he a grown man.
Right.
Like, I'm 45. So, like, I'm not too much older than LeBron, but listen, I got a routine. Like, I'm you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of old man ways.
I mean, you just got to know that, like, whatever peak performance you get from him, more so than any player in the league, is finite.
Right.
You just have to know that.
He's signing a 1-and-1.
Yeah, so,
like, he might not be there next year. Like, you're going to get him for a year, probably. Like, this is probably the last year.
Well, maybe if that's the case, if he knows that if he's got the number in his head that he'll settle for, then I guess maybe he is deciding where's the best place for him to go, so to speak. Because if that what it is like where he'll go as opposed to who'll take him.
Man, I was thinking where he'll go as opposed to who will take him, but I don't know, man. I'm starting to lean toward the who will take him the longer that it's taking.
Man, this just sounds so messed up.
I know. That's what man.
So,
Go ahead now.
couple of things. I just want to clarify what Ty said. When Ty was saying Cleveland in regards to what Lance had asked about has LeBron gone anywhere to win one by itself, which I kind of disagree with because the makeup of that Cleveland team before that signing and after that signing was totally different.
They traded for Kevin Love
Bro,
immediately.
Kevin Love was averaging 20 and 14.
24 and 15.
Yeah, what are we doing?
I think with this decision, I think on paper, all the destinations sound good and look good, but I think it's perception versus reality. The perception is that if you look at these teams and look at them on paper, oh, you know what's going to happen. And I'm not saying it's just going to be the super Brown fans. There's going to be a lot of people who's going to be trying to pencil that team in wherever he goes to the finals.
Sure.
But I think the reality is that the ceiling with any team that LeBron picks,
First round. I mean, that's what it's been the last how many years?
No, I mean,
play in or first round. I'm not shitting on the dude.
I'm not talking so much more about the result.
Right.
I'm saying if LeBron goes in there with the mentality that we expect LeBron James to come into a team with, they're going to be a team that makes it tough for a team for a little while, and then ultimately buy out, and then at the end of the year, and then
it's all right, brother. You can say it, nephew. I'm here for you. I'll always have your back.
It can happen in the first round. I think the other. No, I'm not. I guess the point I'm trying to make is it's not necessarily about when it ends. It's how it's gonna look when it ends.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. No,
Like,
I agree.
At the end of the day, I feel like wherever he goes, no matter what, people are going to go into the season talking about, oh, Cleveland's a title contender, Miami's a title contender, Golden State's a title contender, and whatnot. And at the end of the year, we're going to be having these conversations when they get eliminated, like, well, where did it go wrong?
Yeah.
And we know where it went wrong.
Hey, let's do that now. If he goes to Golden State, nothing, bro.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Golden State is not going to win.
That's a nothing burger.
Yeah.
Now, if he goes to Miami, what are they going to put with that team?
Yeah, I mean, Miami is intriguing. Miami could be nasty if they put LeBron on that squad.
The idea is nasty.
And I say Miami and Philly are intriguing,
Like,
but
yes.
it's just like
it's
how does those how do it work?
intriguing until you see it, until Bam Adebayo gets sick of standing in the corner waiting to get the ball to shoot threes. Like, man,
I mean,
no, bro, Miami ain't gonna work.
No,
and
I
then
mean,
if he goes to Philadelphia, which they were talking about, Jalen Rose, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid all need the ball to do anything offensively.
Jaylen Brown, yeah.
Like, not going to work, dog. Tyrese Maxey's not spotting up shooting. Jaylen Brown's not spotting up shooting. VJ Edgecombe's not spotting up shooting. Joel Embiid will spot up and shoot.
Yeah, he will.
But he'll do that for 17 games, and then his leg will fall off, and then he'll be done for the rest of the season. What are we doing? No matter what the scenario will be, LeBron James, at this point in his career by himself, can't impose himself on a team, and they are a title contender. They are a play-in, first round, maybe second round team. And, I mean, that's more so a testament of how great he is. But, again, this is a new unknown scenario where you have a player just doing stuff that you haven't seen before, and there isn't a league or a salary cap or a business model designed for a 42-year-old all-NBA level player. It just ain't, man.
Listen, I tend to be a little bit more optimistic than you. However, we feel the same way. I mean, I think LeBron.
Okay, second round.
I think LeBron can help any team. I agree.
Of course.
Nobody's an instant title contender just because they get him. Not at 41 going on 42 years old. You know, I don't think it's out of the question that they win a championship if they pick him up. But you're right. I mean, there's no guarantee. There's certainly no guarantee.
But you're going to have to give up like the ransom as if that's what you're getting back because he's LeBron.
Yes, like if he's asking for all of these additional pieces, like, and I think that to your point, there seems to be something holding these signings back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that that it's the middle of July, you know, we 2 weeks into the free agency period. And there has been there's been no signing yet.
I'm relying on Kristaps Porzingis to play center, bro, for a whole season.
It's that does signal to me that he has additional demands other than to just say, I'm coming on to the team. You know, I'm going to be a part of the situation, and I'm going to do my farewell tour. I'm going to be a low egress guy. I'm not going to get in the way. It seems to me that there's other things at play. Let's just say that without getting too much in the weeds.
He needed to get hooked up.
Yeah.
Like, ain't no knock on him. I mean, it's worked for him.
Yes.
But it's like now, you know, the
juice is not
worth the timing of it is just different now.
Yep.
What they say, it hit different now.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, man, listen, we keeping our ears to the street, man. We want to hear immediately as soon as LeBron is declaring, making that decision 4.0.
Oh man, what's the Fanatics? Is that where they think he's going to announce it at? The Fanatic Fest or whatever.
Wherever in New York. So we will keep. Obviously, everybody has one family apprised. Everybody wants to hear from the people's champ when he makes his announcement. So we will obviously
stay tuned.
Have that at the top of the agenda. Let's talk about the Pistons Summer League, specifically Ebuka Okorie. The Detroit Pistons Summer League schedule kicked off Thursday, July 9th against the Philadelphia 76ers, who we were just briefly discussing. All eyes were on rookie first-round pick Ebuka Okorie, who had a very nice debut, scoring 20 points on 8 of 16 shooting from the field, 2 of 5 from three-point range, playing 30 minutes in the 101-93 loss. They have played twice since then. He struggled a little bit. Overall, he's averaging 16 points, nearly 5 assists, over 3 steals, and just under 3 turnovers per game, shooting just 35% from the field and under 17% from three-point range. While he has shown excellent flashes in the open court, he has struggled against physical defense and aggressive pick-and-roll stunts. Let me ask the people's champ, do you attribute those struggles to the step up in competition, adjustments to new teammates and surroundings, or something else entirely?
All of the above, people. Listen. I know this is the narrative thing. Sure. Don't get it twisted. It's Summer League, but Summer League is still better competition in college.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
By leaps and bounds.
These are professionals.
Yeah, it's just much better competition. So, I was able to see all 3 games.
Yep.
And
they played again today, too.
I did miss today's game.
Yeah, I missed today, yeah. And these numbers do not include today's game, by the way.
But, I mean, it's basically, I think, what we talked about on the show after the draft. I've seen a lot of, he does a lot of the things that I like. Yeah. You cannot stop. Well, whoever's been playing Summer League, they can't stop the kid from getting to the rim.
Yeah, his first. He
had the way of getting to the rim and a way of getting his shot off.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
Yeah, cat quick.
Like the shot creation for me is what I like, and the ease of which he can get his shot off. I mean, I think those will eventually fall.
Okorie had 16 and 5 today on 5 for 17 shooting, 4
So
turnovers.
another 5 of 17 games. So what did he shoot from 3?
1 of 6.
So the 3 ball left him again.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's reps. That's reps. That's strength.
Yeah, no doubt. It's harder to get that off in the NBA, bro. This ain't college.
But what I liked, what I didn't expect to see from him, because you really didn't get to see a lot of it, because it was Stanford number 1, and then even with the deep dive that you may do of him, it's a lot of him scoring.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The fact that I saw, him kind of adjust his game and play point guard and distribute the ball and kind of control tempo and like throw and pass guys open.
Yep.
And move the offense. He has a lot of good energy behind his passes and how he initiates offense, which was good to see.
Yes.
Defensively, another thing that I noticed, he's skinny, but he looks bigger than I thought he would in terms of like his length and his size. Pause.
Yeah.
He looks like he might be the real 6'2".
Yeah.
And he's got decent length with the arm, with length with the arm. So
he's over 3 steals a game too.
Yeah. So active hands.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a lot that I like. Shot making to me, I think I'm not necessarily worried about. I think he's just has to get comfortable.
Yes.
With the NBA physicality, find out the spacing he needs to get his shot off. Then I think once he does that, he'll be okay. Because I mean, you're gonna be who you are. He's a north of 35% 3-point shooter.
Yes.
Shoots in the mid 40s from the field. So I think he'll figure it out. The biggest revelation to me has been Chaz Lanier.
Yeah, I mean,
we got to find minutes for him. I'm not saying go crazy.
No, we knew he could shoot though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
his catch and shoot.
But if he's going to shoot at this clip,
I mean, right? Yeah,
he's ripping. He's shooting like 60%.
I mean, no, like
these last
he had a couple huge. Like I remember against Atlanta, he had a big game last year. Like he can shoot the rock. Like
he's been but the shot looks better. He's getting it off quicker.
Yeah.
More confident.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, now if we end up losing Duncan, we got to find some minutes for him. If he's gonna keep shooting it like that, we
got to find some minutes for him, regardless.
He's the first round pick.
Yeah, you got to get him out there. You got to find some minutes for him. No, I agree. I kind of felt like he was underutilized last year.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he had some nice games when he popped out a couple of times last year, and I'm like, man, we got to, because we need shooting, we needed spacing.
I think a lot of that too, though, was. I think a lot of that was because of Jenkins and Green too.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like I understand it was a crowded roster with guys his size. We talked about the redundancy. We don't have to, go back over that. But no, yeah, Chaz has played great. But back to Okorie, because I agree with you. The NBA, even Summer League, is a different level of physicality. Different level of intensity, different level of scouting, and it requires a different level of adjustment. So we agree on that. Absolutely the result of a step up in competition. Even in the Summer League, these are professionals. Even if they don't all play in the NBA professionally,
right?
Some of them play overseas professionally, but these men get paid to play basketball, which is a different level. It's a different level than college, and I know a lot of them get paid to play basketball too. But this is a different level.
Yeah, these cats trying to feed their family.
Yeah, that's different. We talked about his open court quickness. That's eye popping. I think he can beat anybody with his first step, particularly in isolation. Small players in the NBA have to have an in between game. That was Killian Hayes. That's the first thing that popped out about Killian Hayes. And, not to evoke the name of Killian Hayes.
I was about to say, dude, I don't have a barf bag near me. Be cool.
But the first thing that popped out about him is that he didn't have an in-between game. This young man does. So that is encouraging, is that, he can score in the in-between, and you have to have that in the NBA now because they play a lot of drop coverage. They're going to run you off the three-point line and defend the rim. So you got to have something in that in-between space.
That finish off the wrong leg. Yep. One hand, he's got that.
Yeah, he got the floaters and all of that. He got a good IQ, like you said. He gets guys in and out of sets pretty well. And his ball handling is pretty good. You know, you got to learn to handle those stunts and those traps off of that pick and roll, because that's important for a lead guard, especially for a small lead guard.
Yeah.
And he's good defensively.
And you know what?
Good hands.
If you watch the game that he played last year against Duke, John Shire, they did that a lot with him.
Yes.
And that might have been maybe his worst game that he had last year.
They stunned at him, trapped him. Yep. We previously discussed his role on the team as a rookie. Let me ask you. Let me ask the People's Champ. Who does he remind you of, if anyone? And where do you see his ceiling in the modern NBA based upon the small sample size that you've seen thus far?
So far, he kind of reminds me of the good, healthy Reggie Jackson.
Okay. Oh, you know what? That's a good comparison. You know, I hadn't even thought about Reggie Jackson. Yeah.
Like where you don't have to rely on him to initiate all the time.
Okay.
You just need him to just go out and play.
Yeah.
And I think with having a Cade next to him, he can just kind of go out and play. Where if he starts to get a little loose, he can be like, hey, young fella, come on, bring it back here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And kind of rope him in. Whereas
Absolutely.
with Reggie, Reggie pretty much had to do everything. Like
Yeah.
He had to spoon feed, drumming, which wasn't his game.
Right.
You know, he was more of a dual or hybrid guard. So initially, I would still probably have to see more, but
yeah, because it's a small sample size.
Yeah, able to finish, with contact, through contact, quick first step, crafty around the rim,
Yeah, man. So I was with some family members, and I like the Reggie Jackson comparison, by the way.
Reggie Jackson.
Yes. And they were kind of pressing me, because I was like, I'm reserving my judgment. They like, nah, man, we know you got an opinion. They like, nah, bro, we ain't letting you weasel out. So here's my thing, man. I'm like, again, I like what I see in the open court. I'm like, just based upon what I've seen. I'm like, here's my reservation. If full of truth, sir. I'm like, there has never been a small guard in NBA history that has been great that has come out of nowhere. I'm like, that's the one thing that would give me pause. I'm like, every small guard in history that had turned out to be great. Now, I'm not talking about a contributor. I'm not talking about a roster guy. I'm talking about great. I'm talking about Kyrie, Isaiah Thomas, Steph Curry, even Jalen Brunson we talked about.
He's two-time national champ.
That's what I'm saying.
Four most outstanding player.
Like player of the year, Big East player of the year.
We were denying Jalen Brunson.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's been putting his demonstration down for a decade.
Yeah, so I'm like, the one thing that I would say, I'm like, he was first team All-ACC and all that, but he wasn't a McDonald's All-American.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's kind of
It's
out of
been a
nowhere.
consistent 6 college ball players they've been talking about all year.
Yes.
Yeah, I got
and
you.
I'm like, when you see somebody, when they call their name on draft night and you got to go look up the highlights, that is concerning. I'm like, especially when it's a small guard. I'm like, a small guard coming out of nowhere is almost unheard of. I'm like, you can see big people, yes. Some wings, yes. Small guards, I'm like, small guards, we knew about all of them. We knew about every small guard that was good from the time they was in high school. And I'm like, and that is what gives me pause. I'm like, I've never heard of a small guard coming out of nowhere. And I'm like, but I'm still reserving my judgment. I'm not writing the book on the young man. I'm like, and that's not to throw cold water on him. I'm like, I've never heard of a small guard that we didn't know about.
Yeah,
From you know what I'm saying? Like from way back when they called their name on draft night. Chris Paul, Jalen Brunson, Steph Curry, Isaiah Thomas. I mean, you can go back John Stockton. You can go Nate Tiny Archibald. We knew about every little
go back to
guard.
Nate Robinson.
Yeah, we knew about every small. And Nate Robinson didn't necessarily turn out to be great in the NBA, but he was a contributor.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a really good contributor. But I'm just talking about
Sixth man of the year 1 year.
Yeah, like he was.
Or he was a finalist maybe or something.
He had a really good career. But
he
I'm
had
talking
a hell of a run. But I get what you're
saying.
saying.
But I'm talking about the great ones. Yeah, like
impact.
when we traded up to get you.
Right.
I would assume that they expect this guy to develop into a starting point guard that is going to be awesome. You know what I'm saying?
What if his ceiling is, say, maybe like a C.J. McCollum?
That'd be fine.
I think that's really all K needs. Bro.
Yes, that'd be fine.
I think with this team, I talked about this a few weeks ago with the homie, shout out Jay Black, your brother. A lot of this Piston team, of course, Trajan has to do his job, front office. But a lot of this, after a certain point, is going to depend on some of these guys has got to get better.
Yeah, I mean, right, yes. Like, player development is so important. I mean, listen, it's funny that you mentioned that because in this same conversation, and again, I hate to single guys out, but we were, Ron Holland came up.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Holland was the number 5 pick in the draft going into year 3, and we ain't even talking about him being a starter. That's a bit of a disappointment.
It's a huge problem.
Yeah, I'm like, let's be real. I'm
top 5 pick, bro.
Yeah, top 5 pick. We heading into year 3, and nobody is like, yeah, I mean, Ron Holland should be starting. I've never heard that come out of anybody's mouth. And I'm like, a top 5 pick being basically a developmental piece that we hope to be a regular rotation guy.
That was unplayable in the play. That's a miss.
Yeah. At this point, you got to call that a miss for the general manager. What you got, nephew?
No, just on the Ron Holland situation, I think most reasonable people, and I don't think nobody dislikes Ron Holland.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just the fact that you took a sword the year before.
Right.
And then you followed it up with Ron, and it's like, what was the point? Like,
it's redundant. Yes,
and I'm not, and it's not even up to the redundant part. It's like
they the same.
Yeah, I take that back. At the end of the day, it came back to the redundancy thing, right. And it's just hard. It's tough when you like Ron. I think there's an NBA where Ron Holland is a very good NBA player.
Sure, yeah.
We better figure it out for the trade deadline.
I just don't know.
I tell you that.
I just don't know if being here is the best
right
fit for him.
I agree. It's like he on the clock.
Trade deadline. Because, I mean, after a while, he's going to lose his value. I mean, like you say, year 3.
That's what I'm saying.
And, certain teams will be like, well, hell, I ain't about to pick this dude up and then got to extend him, and he's done nothing. Like,
right, though. Like, he's Stanley Johnson 2.0.
Oh, we won't charge him with that just yet.
Nah. But to the point of the comparison to C.J. McCollum, I think that's a decent comparison. I think if you're looking at your team, if C.J. McCollum is the 3rd best player on your team, I think you feel pretty good about your championship chances.
Oh, for sure.
And I think if we can get the Duren situation figured out, if that's how it unfolds, I feel real good about that outcome. If that's what ultimately happens,
I concur. Yep, I think that's an excellent way to look at that. Yeah, and I mean. Yeah, like that, redundancy just seems to be the theme with our team. And, and I understand depth, and I think there's a thin line between redundancy and depth, and that might actually be a great topic.
Yeah, because, I mean, this is going to be a big year for our backup guards.
Yeah.
Because the book's out on Cade Cunningham now. If it wasn't before,
yeah,
he is.
I have zero worry about him though. Like,
no, I don't either.
Ain't no stopping Cade.
But my point is now, it looks like we're kind of building the team to not necessarily put more of a load on him, but kind of to allow him to do more.
Yeah,
with the opening of the floor. So what I'm saying is, who's ever coming in for him when he leaves the game, the spotlight this season, I think, would be bigger on that player. Like, who emerges as that guy?
And I think that, you said it. It's about development at this point.
Yeah.
Like, we have to see more guys develop more rapidly. Because at this point, Cade is a dude. We got it. We understand that Cade Cunningham is one of them guys. He's a top 5 player. Let's call him a top 5 to 7 player in the NBA, just to be modest.
Yeah, that's fair.
He one of them guys. He's first team All NBA. He was in the MVP race for most of the year. He got derailed by a collapsed lung, but he was in the MVP race for most of the season.
He had to be in the running for an all-defensive team.
Yeah, and right. Like, for some reason, they don't like to put guys on the first team All-NBA and first team All-Defense that are guards or wings, but I agree. I think he's worthy of that. So, at this point, we got to see some other guys begin to develop.
Yes.
We talked about, we kind of joked around about Asar developing that jump shot, but of course,
it's got to happen, man.
Yeah.
It's got to happen.
We want to see that happen. Ron Holland has to show himself to be a top 5 pick at some point. He a cool developmental story and all of that, but going into year 3, he needs to show himself to be starter worthy.
Yeah, it can't be no more. That's because that's young Ron. Nah, man, that's over with.
Yeah, that's over, bro. We going into year 3. And
the little bro stuff is over. That's it.
Yeah, he gotta. It's time
because guys are gone. Tobias is gone. Stu is gone. Guys have to step up and be the foundational anchors in that locker room.
Yeah, no question.
You know what I'm saying? So
cut your mic on.
I was saying they gonna end up being traded for a backup bid because that's still the most glaring hole on the roster.
I agree.
Yep. Yeah, and and it's no shade to Ron Holland, but we really need to be making a decision on him after next season because we can't keep coming to the finish line like we're going to have to do with Asar next year. Because we're going to be, again, I don't mean to be ominous, but we're going to be right back in the same situation with Asar Thompson next year.
Hey, man, you know what Aquarius season brings?
Right.
Our birthdays and the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Ron Holland, you got to Aquarius season, bro, to get it together or leave it alone, man. We not about to keep doing this, man. Like, we can't. Bro, because what just happened with our last top 5 pick?
Yeah.
In year, what was that, 4 for him?
Yeah.
He gone.
Yeah, because he was going to be in the same situation.
Yeah, he at Bible college. He gone. Good luck to him. But I'm just saying, we can't just keep squandering top 5 picks. Like,
no.
We can't be like Brad Holman, the top 5 picks over here.
Yeah,
dog.
and then on the other hand, guys need to develop. Yeah, no.
That's burning it in both ends the wrong way.
Yep. Let's talk about Warde Manuel because you had brought this up when we first talked about the Sharon Moore scandal. You had asked whether or not Warde was going to survive that. Ironically, Warde Manuel, current athletic director at the University of Michigan, who is under contract through 2030, pushed back on reports that his exit from Michigan is imminent, though he acknowledged that he's had conversations about his future with the school leaders. An external investigation into Sharon Moore's relationship with his former executive assistant revealed that Michigan's athletic director, Warde Manuel, spoke with Moore about the relationship before Moore's debut as the school's head football coach, according to the Wall Street Journal. A note from Manuel dated August 29, 2024, 2 days before Moore's first game, quote, "I told him I didn't remember if we had already discussed, but that she couldn't accompany him on trips," unquote, Manuel wrote. Manuel has maintained that Michigan did not have evidence of the relationship until Shiver disclosed it to the university in December 2025. Thus far, there has been no official word from the university about his future, but many speculate that there may have been one too many scandals during his tenure.
Yeah, just one.
Does Warde Manuel survive as AD, and should he? What say the people's champ?
I mean, at this point, why not? Just for shits and giggles. You know, I mean, he's just turned into Teflon Don at this point. Like, let's just see what's next. I mean, seriously, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this dude should have been gone with the whole Xavier Simpson fiasco. And God knows, what was that, 7, 8 years ago? So it's just like, I mean, what are we doing? Like, and the only reason why they're keeping him around, the only reason why they're keeping him around, because he's the chewing gum in the whole of the battleship. Once they remove him, everything that you thought about is going to come out, and everybody who was involved with it is going to be exposed. That is all this is. And it is, you think it's funky now, just stick around.
I mean, you know, I think AD at a school like Michigan is largely in optics position. And Shiver, she does have a $12 million lawsuit against Michigan currently. And that, you know, that's a bad look, is that a handwritten note from 2024, and you said you didn't know about the affair until 2025. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what they call a smoking gun. That's pretty bad. Like, but it does appear that he was aware of the affair way before he publicly said he was. So I don't know how much weight that carries with the Michigan faculty. I mean, that remains to be seen, obviously.
And then again, like, hey, Sharon, God bless you, but how about another name? Jim Harbaugh. Like, what about all the shenanigans that went down when,
I mean, this almost makes you
when
forget
Khaki Man was there?
Forget about the sign stealing scandal and Connor Stallions and all of
like,
that.
dude.
Yeah, I mean, like, our Ward is just sleep at the wheel.
The
man.
hamburger dinner and all this other madness. Like, man, stop, bro. Stop.
What you got, Dev?
If by 3 o'clock tomorrow I don't see a headline that says Warde Manuel is officially out as Michigan AD, I don't know what the hell is going on at this
Teflon
point.
Don, man.
Yeah, I mean, this
Yeah.
seems like it should be enough.
So let's go to ESPN.com.
Right.
A timeline of Warde Manuel's tenure as Michigan athletic
I
director.
saw that.
Get a load of this, folks.
And I'm not going to talk about the random arrest and whatnot. January 2019. The hiring of ex-USA Gymnastics executive Rondon Fahan,
Yeah.
who worked with Larry Nassar.
Listen, all you got to say is gymnastics. The end. Like, we know where it was going. Oh, God.
February 2022. Juwan Howard punches a coach.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. He hired Juwan Howard. Like, just when was that date?
August 2022.
There you go.
Investigation into the hockey program leads to Merrill Pearson's firing.
Yep. That's right. I forgot about the hockey program.
January 2023. The Harbaugh situation.
Yep.
Also in January 2023. Mike Weiss gets fired.
Yeah, there's that. Damn, I forgot about that. Jeez.
What else? Oh yeah, October 2023. Connor Stallions breaks. 2024, he hires Sharon Moore. We know how that goes.
Lord.
And then now we're here.
Yeah. I mean, the dude got a contract till 2030. He probably asking, like, what's a guy got to do to get fired around
Right, like, man, I'm tired I'm tired of faking it till I make it. This is some bullshit.
Right. I want 4 years of getting paid
This
and
is
not
harder
having to
than
come to work. Right. Oh, man. I know, man. Ward, I'm like, yeah, like, I'm sure Ward is wondering what he got to do to get fired around here at this point.
I got players using my wife's car. Like, what the hell do you want from me?
So to say all of that and to say that he still has not been fired, I think that's
Teflon.
no, it's not even that. I think that is And this, I'm not memeing institutional control. I think that's an institutional problem with the leadership at the University of Michigan as a whole.
Yeah, so you're saying it's a Luann assignment problem?
And trust me, as someone who's graduated from a college with troubling administration issues,
Yeah.
it can really hold you back, and it can really show you how rotten your institution is from the top.
Yeah.
Well, tell you, bro, they better, if they fire him, they better listen. They better pay him every dime.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what he probably wondering
Yeah,
what's the
they
guy got to
better
do
pay
to
him
get fired.
every
Right?
dime.
And I think ultimately that's what they're working on at this point.
Yeah.
They're just trying to figure out the buyout number.
Yeah, bro, because they got to pay for his silence.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He got
You
to
know where all the bodies are at.
Yeah, his contract through 2030, so he probably like, what's the guy
was
got to
like-
do to get fired?
He was like,
around here?
hell, you seen all the shit we got caught doing. Imagine what I really know that y'all don't. Like, oh, yeah, that costs. That costs to keep that under wraps.
And then he just went, like, he went public even after that came out and just doubled down. Like, yeah, we didn't know. If you don't know nothing, you don't know nothing. I'm like, yeah, deny it, man. It's like getting caught in the bed with another woman by your wife. It wasn't me.
Like,
Nah, coming out and giving yourself your own voter confidence is insane. The man came out, that report came out. It wasn't even long before he was like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm here. I've been having conversations with everybody. It sounds like we good.
I know I'm the man for the job.
Oh, man. Shout out to Warde Manuel, man. Hey, man, listen. You know what I'm saying? Standing under a hell of fire, man.
Teflon Warde.
And he like, what? What's the problem? But let's talk about this Kawhi Leonard trade that got put on hold. We was talking about it as if it happened last week. It fooled us.
It fooled the Clippers, too.
Right. The agreed upon trade that would send Kawhi Leonard from the LA Clippers to the Toronto Raptors is currently on hold. The framework features Leonard returning to Toronto in exchange for Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, and multiple draft assets. But it awaits the conclusion of an ongoing NBA investigation into the Clippers. The NBA is investigating whether the Clippers circumvented the salary cap by paying Leonard an impermissible multi-million-dollar endorsement deal. The Raptors requested that the league finalize the trade, but the NBA informed them that the Raptors would have to assume the risk for any potential penalties. Consequently, Toronto paused the deal to wait until the probe concludes. Let me ask the people's champ, what is taking the NBA so long to conclude this investigation, which has lasted now for over 90 days?
They don't know whether or not they're dealing with a criminal case.
Oh, you think that's it?
Yeah. It smelled funky from the first time I heard about it. I'm like, wait a minute, none of this sounds legit, like, at all.
Oh, wow.
Like, this all sounds underhanded. And I mean, dude, like, creating shell companies to pay basketball salaries and a whole separate business entity, like, it may be legal. I mean, and if it is, great, but it just smells funky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, all of it. And wherever Pablo Torre leads us with this story, I'm following. But, I mean, evidently the Clippers and the Raptors executives were led to believe that they were clear to proceed. So with that being the case, I'm thinking it has to come from an outside authority that, you know, that's influencing,
Yeah.
you know, them having to basically renege on this trade. Because, I mean, if both teams agree and the league governing body approves it.
Well, yeah. Well, the league. Well, no. When they went to the league for approval, the league said you can do it, but the probe is not done.
And the Raptors would have been responsible for any
Suspension.
punishment.
Well, okay, so I guess what I'm in the dark about is probe by whom?
The
the
league.
NBA, the league's doing a
Yeah,
probe.
the league. They brought in an outside we talked about it.
Right.
They brought in an outside firm to do the investigation. So here's
So the outside firm, the 3 letters.
No. Just an independent firm.
Also, like no IRS, no Better Business Bureau, none of that stuff.
Man, heck no.
So it's their own guys.
Yeah.
So they got their
firm.
okay. Well, even then, you would think that process would be much more expedient than what it is now.
That's what I said. What's taken? So my conjecture is they know. First of all, they know exactly what is happening. They interviewed like 3 people. They interviewed Steve Ballmer. They interviewed Kawhi Leonard's uncle, who he has since replaced.
Uncle Slick.
Yeah, and then they interviewed Kawhi Leonard. They know exactly what has happened. They know exactly what went down. This is all my conjecture. What they can't figure out, right, is whether or not the Clippers were complicit or not. They can't, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Like, they know that they funneled this money.
This is funky. Like,
yeah, but they can't prove it. Like, I think that they covered their tracks fairly well. I said that at the beginning, and I maintain that.
They did some freaky crypto shit.
Whatever they did, they gave themselves plausible deniability. Whatever Steve Ballmer did, he gave himself plausible deniability. So at this point, there is no smoking gun. There, the proverbial smoking gun. There's nothing where they can say, we know that you funneled the money because, here's the paper trail. There ain't no paper trail. Steve Ballmer.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, how did they do that?
So Steve Ballmer, I'm going to tell you, Steve Ballmer, this company Aspiration was like a green, bank.
Right.
He made a $50 million investment into that company.
Right.
This company turns around and does some kind of marketing endorsement deal with
Kawhi Leonard, right,
for $28 million.
Can't do that.
I mean, they can. He can do a marketing endorsement deal. So
for his boss's company?
Well, no, he's not. He wasn't.
He's just
owner.
an investor.
He's just an investor. That's what I'm saying. So
that's greasy.
I think they circumvented the rules. So I'm sure he knows the bylaws of the NBA, where he knows that he couldn't be a part owner of the company and give him an endorsement deal.
And that white man slick is different,
right? So,
I swear to God.
So he did something, and so I'm sure. Again, this is all speculative. I could end up being wrong. I mean, now the NBA could say, we don't care if we ain't got no smoking gun. We gonna fine you or punish you anyway. They could suspend Kawhi Leonard for a third of the season. I'm like, well, who among us thinks that he's playing more than that anyway?
Right. That's not really a punishment.
Exactly.
You'd be like, bet I'm still getting paid.
Right. Right. I'm like, it really don't matter. What you got, nephew?
This could have been all avoided if you would have just took Kawhi Leonard to a couple of them courts that you built around LA and planted some trees.
Right. That's
all you had to do.
Yeah, right. He ended up not doing anything for the company.
He just took the check.
Yeah.
He never had any intention of being a spokesman for this company.
Put a billboard up.
They just came up with where we gonna get the money from.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Right.
I mean, you know how that is.
And and this goes back to what we were talking.
I need a payoff letter. Okay.
This goes back to what we were talking about before, about circumventing the second apron, finding ways around it.
Yeah.
Finding ways to play the salary cap and all of that. So again, I think that there's no way in 90 days, and it wasn't that many people to interview. There's no way in 90 days that the NBA doesn't know what happened. And remember, we talked about this weeks ago, and remember then, Adam Silver was like, we have to wrap this investigation up at some point, and that was during the finals. So, it's been a month since then, and they still haven't drawn this thing to a conclusion. So that lets me know that they have the information. It's just they're trying to figure out a way to say that this undermine some NBA bylaw in some way, and here's the punishment that we're going to hand down. Because I think that, again, the dude is not a dummy. He did this in a way where he knows that he circumvented the rules. And the NBA has to make sure that they prevent somebody else from doing the same thing in the future. See, if you just say, okay, we know what you did, we can't really prove it, and we can't really punish you, 30 NBA owners are going to see that like, oh, word.
Really?
Oh, really? Yeah, Jalen Duren, come in my office.
Yeah, JD. Hey, man.
We gonna find that $5 million.
We got JD's halal weenies opening up over here,
right,
man.
yeah,
We
like,
can need you to shoot a couple of these commercials.
Yeah, and Tom Gores is just gonna make a $50 million investment.
Yeah, we got a chain of JD. He's running around the city.
You can get a $5 million a year endorsement deal, and we can make up that part of your salary that way, and still an Apron, still go get Trey Murphy or whoever else we wanted to try to go get.
Thanks for the pro tip.
Yeah, which is why we holding on this $35 million. So I think the NBA is being so deliberate because of that. But again, this is all speculative. I'm spitballing, so I don't want nobody to be like, well, you said no. I'm telling you that this is just a guy. I don't have any inside information. I'm not Pablo Torre. I don't claim to have inside information. This is just based upon a few things that I've read. It appears to me that they know what has happened because I read in an article that now they're trying to figure out, aside from this investigation, whether or not the Clippers improperly covered expenses for Kawhi Leonard that were never repaid. Like, so they looking at other parts of the Clippers books.
Yeah.
Aside from this particular transaction. So I think, again, that also leads me to believe that this part of the investigation is wrapped up.
Somebody in the Clippers done pissed somebody off, and they trying to find a way to get them.
I think that they know that they did this, so
Right.
now they looking for
trying
other stuff. They trying to find.
We can't get them on murder, so we gonna get them on tax evasion.
There you go. That's exactly what that felt like when I read that. So, yeah, so that's purely conjecture. Nobody take that as some kind of a smoking gun. But that's all I got on that. And then we on to the SS segment, man. You got anything for the SS segment aside from that Caitlin Clark thing you said? We gonna make that a whole topic, bro. I got a couple of WNBA things that we gonna get into.
Foolishness. Yeah. But no, I mean, no, the only really thing, and it's kind of minor, because it's not like a lot of people watch it anyway, but why Major League Baseball put the Home Run Derby on Netflix?
Oh, my God.
What the hell was that?
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Go ahead, Neff.
That hurts me, dude. Like,
When are we going to admit that All-Star games are relics of a bygone era and rip the Band-Aid off and say we don't need them anymore?
I mean,
I don't think we ever needed them.
I
They
mean,
were
no,
always fun to watch.
I think because
they're just not fun.
You got to think about it. You got to think about it. The concept of All-Star games was made so that it went away for a time where we had 3 channels and that was it.
right.
So you got to see your local team, and you might get lucky.
Right.
Because you got to think about it. ESPN isn't even 50 years old yet.
Nope. Right.
So the whole concept of being able to see what's going on around the nation and see all the stars and whatnot, it's still a pretty young concept. So that is what All-Star Games had the ability to do, which was bring all the stars of a sport together, give everybody a chance to see all these stars in one place at one time. And now with streaming, and not even streaming, it's just the fact that media as a whole is so much larger at this point. It feels like a waste of time. Like, I was watching that game last night, and I'm like, why am I wasting my time watching this? It's pointless.
Yeah.
Because after the first inning, it was like, okay. And it's not. So, and I just kept, and I was thinking about this as far as like, just all sports in general. It's like, I think the appeal of All-Star weekends is whatever the major event is. For baseball, it's the Home Run Derby, which is probably the best All-Star event
Right.
that we got, because they're going they have found the way to somehow get that right.
Yeah.
Even though some people weren't happy with the format change, which I can't see how. I think 20 swings and calling it a day, and then 15 after that. I think it kept a good pace, and then but also allowed you to actually see a home run land for once. But baseball, I feel like got that right. I feel like basketball, when they finally decide, hey, the 3-point contest is our contest.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the marquee.
That's the marquee.
Contest.
Once we figure that out, I think. But at the same time, it's like, if you kill the All-Star game, you're going to kill the whole weekend, because at that point, people ain't going to want to just go waste a day or 2 days when they can have a whole week off
Right.
to go do an event. So I think I'm pretty much at the point where I'm good on All-Star, on anything All-Star related at this point. Like, I'm just going to step away from it, because it's just I feel like we're wasting our time at this point.
Yeah, I mean, no, listen, I think the NFL has basically thrown their hands up.
Oh God,
with
they're
All-Star.
playing flag football in the sand.
Yeah,
you know, like,
so I think that to your point, one of the 4 majors has completely given up. You know, the Pro Bowl is
the NHL All-Star game though is still fairly
And
close to the actual product.
I enjoyed the NBA All-Star game this past season.
Yeah.
It has been a dumpster fire, you know, before in the past though, to your point, like the slam dunk contest is a relic. I mean, unless they can actually get some of the stars to participate, you know, they can pretty much do away with that at this point.
Yep.
But to your point with the All-Star game, is when we had the first year we had the draft and the Elam ending, we liked it, and then it's ultimately turned back into what it was.
Turned back into niggas dragging ass.
So it's just I don't know, but I also wanted to mention something else.
Go ahead, now.
Because I feel like if we gonna antagonize loudly, I think we should also praise loudly as well.
Okay.
So I think a couple of weeks ago we remember that I had a lot to say about Adrien Broner.
Yeah, AB.
And I just want to commend him right now.
Okay.
Because I don't know if y'all been seeing the clips of the little marathon he been doing of them locked in the gym and whatnot.
On 45-day challenge.
Yeah.
I saw him hitting the pads with Zab Judah
Today,
Yep.
Yeah, it's still AB, but I think it's when you see that when he can be, if you can keep him in the gym, you can see the difference.
Yes.
In him.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like the clip, when it ain't been no crazy clips. Of course, it's still you still gonna have your AB. AB's gonna say something crazy every day.
Yeah,
of course. It's Adrien Broner. That's expected at this point, and it's gonna make you facepalm. But the overall mentality change I have seen in AB in clips. I'm just talking strictly in clips.
Yep.
From the clips that we were seeing a month and a half ago to now, it's night and day. And I just want to give him his praise. And I think he's earned that because he's shown that something's in there. And I think it's something in him that wants to be better.
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of starting to realize that some of the people that he surrounds himself with, and this isn't even about the other guy he be actually streaming with, because I think he actually cares about AB as well. I think it's more so about the background people that he has surrounding him. I think he's starting to realize.
Yeah, Ray J. Get rid of that loser.
I'm not. It's not even Ray. I
He's
think
a loser.
no, it's not even Ray J. It's more like his manager and whatnot. Like, I think he's gonna start. He's starting to realize.
If his manager lets Ray J hang around him, then his manager and Ray J are both losers.
I think he's starting. I think he's gonna. I think at the end, hopefully, because the end of this 45 can go, and he be like, "Oh, I did 45 days. Let me jump back on the liquor."
That's where I'm at. I encourage him. You know, I encourage AB. But when you're dealing with like the addict brain,
Yeah.
they can easily incentivize themselves because they know day 46 they can go back to doing whatever the hell that they want.
Yeah.
So we're rooting for him because he's.
Most
I'm
definitely.
always root for anybody striving to be the best version or a better version of themselves. So absolutely. But I'm rooting for day 70.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to see him on day 70 hitting it just as hard as he is today. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want for AB. He ain't got to get back in the ring to me, really. Like, he didn't prove enough.
Yeah.
But, he's a world champion in 4 classes.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just sick of brothers not making it to 60. I'm sick of that shit.
Yeah, man. No, that's actually a great segue, man, because next week I want to hit a lot of boxing, man.
Okay.
I want to get into some boxing. Errol Spence is going to be returning to the ring for the first time in multiple years.
Did you ever see that interview he did with
I did not. No, man, we got to I'll watch it.
Go So Hard,
Yeah.
Andre Ward?
I'll watch it between now and next week, and we'll add that to the agenda. But he's fighting Tim Tszyu a week from Saturday. He returning to the ring for the first time. You see, they had to change the weight from 58 to 60. So it's actually a middleweight fight. I don't think it's sanctioned.
I have my
middleweight.
concerns.
Yes, I do too. I mean, listen, I'm on record as saying after that Terrence Crawford beating, I didn't think we would see him in the ring ever again.
I have my concerns.
So
I'll just say that. Watch that Andre Ward.
Yeah, I will, and I want to talk to you about Boots Ennis and who he should fight next.
Ooh.
Whether it should be Virgil Ortiz, Josh Kelly, or Fundora. So yeah, I got a few boxing topics, man. I'm not gonna spoil them all now, but and then we're gonna hit some WNBA too. You know, the whole Caitlin Clark.
Let's get Boots and Roach or something, man.
Save it for next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, my brain. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, don't keep it up, AB. We rooting for you, dog.
Yeah,
don't get it twisted.
And then the last thing I just want to ask y'all about, y'all had any thoughts on Conor McGregor's Aaron Rodgers
Oh, he's definitely on
impersonation?
sucker shit for the week. Oh yeah, he duped the world.
You talking
Did
about
you see
that jump
He
kick and blew
duped
his
the
knee
world.
out?
He blew his knee out walking down to the ring, man. His knee was already gone. He did that kick
pulled
to
a Aaron
sell it.
Rodgers.
Yeah, man. Oh, thanks for reminding me that Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh God. Oh, he duped.
You know, I'm not a UFC guy, but obviously, everybody heard about that.
12 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
No, I was watching the fight.
I saw.
And I looked
what
away.
fight?
I looked away. Like I was watching I watched the announcements. I looked away for a second. Next thing I know, I'm looking. He's on the ground. I'm like, what's going on here?
It's an episode of Sanford and Son where Lamont was getting bullied, right?
Yeah.
And Grady taught him how to fight, allegedly. And like Lamont does this old crazy ass fly kick and like scares my man off. That's what Conor McGregor did, bro. And then he just and he keeps falling when he's trying to get up. I'm like, what's going on? At first I thought it was like some sweat in the ring or water, but I noticed he was the only one that kept slipping in the ring. I'm like, man, what is going on, dude? And then, like I said, my man just kept waiting for him to fall. And then the ref was like, man, that's it. And then literally, I want to say he stopped it with 3:48 left. Or
I don't know.
3:38?
I was confused.
It was
Well,
like
I'm telling
3:38
you,
left. The fight lasted less than 90 seconds.
when I looked away for a second, I literally looked away for like 5
less
seconds.
than 90 seconds, bro.
And I look back up, and he's on the ground just laying there. I'm like, what's
He
going
threw the Lamont
on?
Sanford kick.
Not the
He
Lamont
fell.
Sanford.
He tried to get up. He fell again and started getting pieced up, and the ref called it. And that was it. I promise you, in that order.
Oh, that's great.
I'm telling you, dog. Sanford and Son. Grady teaches Lamont how to fight. And that's the same kick Conor McGregor threw.
Oh, man, and we're going to update y'all on the debate roundtable, man. We're going to set a date for that next week. So, yeah, man, y'all stay tuned, man. It's going to be fun.
Oh, one more thing.
Go ahead, Neff.
Do you think when we come in here next Wednesday, are we talking about Messi being the greatest soccer player of all time? No questions asked.
It's
We
a
not
debate
talking about
now.
that now? Yeah.
It's a debate now.
I mean,
You said just cap it off. That'd just be the.
because I mean, when you think about it, the first name that comes to mind is Pele.
Pele, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
Messi's probably about to go out with back-to-back World Cup championships.
I mean,
Unless Spain, I'm not doubting Spain, but I'm just saying there's a possibility that I think it's just crazy the amount of talent I've been able to watch over the past 20 years in all sports respectively.
yeah, no doubt.
Like, I think just the combination of Bron, Messi,
Sure.
Sidney Crosby and hockey,
Yes.
Shohei Ohtani, just the collection of top tier talent.
Yes.
Like talent that undoubtedly have arguments to be for greatest of all time in their respective sport.
right.
I just think
we were
Not to
alive
mention
in Serena
Floyd,
Williams,
Yeah.
Terrence
right.
Crawford, you know what I'm saying?
It's just
Serena Williams. Yeah.
and of course that
Tiger Woods.
And of course, that's gonna happen. I think that's always gonna happen in the sports. There's always gonna be people in eras that you can have GOAT conversations
yeah, no doubt.
Bro, we
made for
witnessed-
them. But the strength of the conversations for the respective people that we've been able to witness,
Yes.
I don't know if when's the next time we're gonna have something like this.
Yeah, you're not gonna see too many lifetimes where you live to see people break Kareem's scoring record and Wayne Gretzky's goal record.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I mean,
those were two. Well, I mean, Wayne Gretzky's single season record, that probably,
insane.
yeah,
bro.
that probably
What he scored?
wouldn't-
90?
92.
Yeah, 92 is
That
insane,
probably
bro.
would never be broken.
And then you got somebody who
probably
can-
DiMaggio.
And then you got somebody who can give you
hits,
7-8 innings on the mound and give you 2-3 home runs on
I mean,
top of
I
that.
think you may see that may happen again. I mean, I don't know if it can be sustained
Yeah,
because I mean,
I don't know. That's pretty.
well, I mean,
nasty.
because they allow him to do it.
right.
Like they allow him to do it.
It took, but it took
This
a
many-
lot.
Yeah, this
It
many
took a
years.
lot because
like they
nobody's not thinking about what he did in Japan to make it even the possibility of a thought of
Yeah.
he could do it over
Oh
here.
no! I mean, in no way am I minimizing the
Yeah,
what Shohei
Ohtani,
Ohtani
yeah,
is.
Ohtani
but
is
what
something
what I'm saying is like there's certain people that are good enough where you allow them the required room to be as great as they can be.
Right.
Like say like a Stephen Curry.
Right.
You have to essentially accept coaching bad offense
Right.
to allow him to become what he is.
Yeah.
Because it's that he played bad basketball the way that we've been coached our
Of course.
entire lives.
Of course.
In terms of shot selection.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean when I say, Ohtani has been allowed to do it.
Yeah.
And you have to give him credit to be able to come through that door and set up shop.
Yeah, no doubt.
Once inside. And I say that to say, like, especially with baseball, a lot of times, especially when you're talking amateur,
Yeah.
the best hitter is a lot of times the best pitcher.
Yeah.
Or the best pitcher is a lot of times the best hitter.
especially when you're young.
And then
yeah.
it comes to a point where you have to decide which one are you going to focus. Whereas in Japan, they're going to milk you and get all out of you that they can get.
Yeah,
you,
no
you
doubt.
get what I'm saying? So maybe Shohei Ohtani will be like kind of a new way.
Right.
Where if you have a guy that is capable of doing both at a high level, you don't force him to choose at a younger age.
Right.
You just let him go out and be like Shohei was allowed to do. And not to minimize what he's doing. I just think that I think we could see that again sooner.
Yeah, that's possible.
More
but-
so than somebody scoring 60,000 points in the NBA.
No, you're right. I think that's an interesting way of looking at it, as opposed to somebody not being capable of doing it, not being allowed to. Because I say that about the NBA all the time, and not to belabor it, but I'm like, when people say that everybody can shoot threes now, I always correct them and say everybody does shoot threes now. Guys just wasn't allowed to do it back in the day. You know what I'm saying? We don't know whether or not Kareem could shoot a three or not. Because I think he might have attempted maybe
I
20.
think he made 3 in his career.
Yeah, he might have attempted 20 in his entire career. I'm like, they do shoot now. Willingness is a life skill. It's not a basketball skill. I'm like, everybody will shoot because, and then guys do work on those parts of their game too. I'm like, guys didn't work on because there was roles back in the day. Everybody had a role. You know what I'm saying? And everybody played a role. And I'm like, yes, positionless basketball is cool until you need somebody to play a role. You know what I'm saying? And like until you need somebody to go get you a rebound. And then nobody's going to the boards and OG Anunoby taps it back and wins the game. You know what I'm saying? Like you need a role play. You needed Dennis Rodman right there.
Well,
see, because if you had Dennis Rodman, the Spurs win that game. Because Dennis's whole job was to crash the glass. He wouldn't have let OG do that.
No, you ain't got to go that far back. If the Spurs had Josh Hart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
you know
Josh
what I mean?
Hart,
Just like one
job.
of those guys. It's like, you know what?
All I do is rebound.
I get all the loose change.
Yeah, that's all I do. I pride myself on doing that. So at any rate, no, that's a great conversation, man. And obviously, we'll pick that up. And to your point, nephew, I don't know enough about soccer to debate Messi versus Pele. So I would defer to the people who really know soccer.
The experts. Put it down below.
Yeah, most definitely. Y'all tell us, man. But yeah, like I certainly, always felt like Messi was, that we were watching the greatest to ever do it, from my cursory understanding of soccer. But we appreciate y'all, man, joining us yet again, man, for another episode of the Everybody Has One podcast, man. Make sure y'all continue to like, share, and subscribe. That's Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. And that's Everybody Has One spelled out sports podcast everywhere else. That's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's Twitch, that's TikTok, and that's Threads. The audio version of the podcast is available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, man. So make sure y'all tapping in there. When you hit that bell notification on YouTube, make sure you hit the all. And when you hit all, you will be notified every single time we post new content, new videos, new shorts, and, of course, every time we go live, which is every Wednesday at 8:30 or as close as we can get to it, man. We appreciate the Everybody Has One family. We acknowledge that none of this is possible without y'all continuing to tap in, continuing to help us propagate all of the content and the information. Make sure you are sharing it on your personal feeds. Make sure you're telling everybody that you know that if they want great, in-depth sports talk, sports content, to come here to the Everybody Has One podcast, man. We appreciate y'all so very, very much. Make sure y'all continue to tap in with us. We will be back here next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. or as close as we can get to it. It is the Everybody Has One podcast. Peace.